Good morning. My name is Terry Lupo Lebedev's St. Mary's alum, class of 1979, and I have the privilege today of introducing your alumni chapel speaker, Kim Lupo, class of 1993. I'm counting on Kim to inspire and challenge you to be the best versions of yourselves academically and to see that nothing is impossible for you professionally when you apply the principles of excellence that you're learning here at St. Mary's. But what I'd like to do is to tell you about my best friend, my sister, Kim. I was an only child for 13 years. Now, for most of those 13 years, I literally begged my parents every day for a baby sister. And then to my utter delight, Kim was born. But I realized right away that because of our age difference, we weren't going to be childhood best friends. In fact, I can remember being mortified when I would take Kim with me to run errands and people would ask me, "Oh, how old is your baby?" But the age difference afforded me the opportunity to watch Kim grow up. And even from an early age, I noticed that she had such a quick mind and a heart of compassion. When she was only 5 years old, our dad would take her on walks to their thinking place, where he would present her with hypothetical problems and ask her how she would solve them. But the one thing about Kim that has always stood out in my mind is her desire to come alongside the underdog, to be a doer of compassion, to those people who sit alone at the lunch table, those people who don't get invited to the parties, and those people who have no voice and feel forgotten and unseen. I hope that each of you has a friend that you know that you can call anytime, day or night, and she'll answer the phone. Now, did you notice that I didn't say that I hope each one of you has a friend that you can text anytime, day or night, and she'll text you back? There is something so much more powerful and meaningful to hear a voice on the other end of the line, to hear someone who truly hurts when you hurt and rejoices when you rejoice. And that's my sister. She's one of those people who truly have the gift of empathy, whether it's the server at the restaurant that she's eating at, the person sitting next to her on the plane, or the Walmart employee that she's reviewing. They all walk away feeling like they've just had a discussion in which they felt understood, valued, and cared about. Now, before Kim comes up, I want to tell you that not only does she gift those around her with her time and heart, but she's also fierce in her desire to push back boundaries and to shake things up. In fact, a little known fact about my sister is that she was the very first St. Mary's student to pierce her nose. And believe me when I say in 1991 that was scandalous, it was scandalous. Wasn't it, Miss Fisher? Yeah. And now it is my honor to introduce you to the most kind, compassionate, and smartest person that I know and that I love, my sister, Kim Lupo. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Kim Lupo. Thank you for the opportunity to join your chapel service today. I am truly thrilled to be here. And TT, thank you for the beautiful words and introduction. I can't believe it's been almost 30 years since I sat in those pews. And I can't believe how this incredible school has changed and how it's exactly the same. You know, when Gigi first asked me to share a bit about my story, I grabbed my laptop and started listing out topics I could talk about. Things like how my 15 years at St. Mary's, yes, I know 15 years, there was a junior kindergarten repeat in there, literally prepared me for every single success I've had and challenge I've faced. Or I could riff a bit about my work and talk about my career highs and lows. But then I realized what I really wanted to talk about was my journey to understanding my purpose. I'd love to start with one of my favorite quotes. "The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why." Mark Twain. So what do I mean by purpose? What do I mean by leadership purpose? It is who you are and what makes you distinctive. Whether you're an artist, CEO, software developer, doctor, your purpose is your brand, what you're driven to achieve, the magic that makes you tick. It's not what you do, it's the how and why, the strengths and passions you bring to the table, no matter where you're seated. Although you may express your purpose in different ways, in different contexts, it's what everyone close to you recognizes as uniquely you and would miss most if you were gone. At its core, your purpose springs from your identity, the essence of who you are. Purpose is not a list of education, experiences, and skills you've gathered in life. I'll use my sister here as an example. Titi, her purpose is to bring light and lightness. Yes, she's a mama, she's a grandmama, a sister, a wife. She's worked as a nurse and a clinical trials researcher, but her purpose to bring light stems from her innate ability to help others see the beauty inside themselves, to find hope when they're in doubt, to gain calm when they feel unrest. So why does this matter? It matters because people with purpose in their lives are happier, healthier, and connected to the world around them. Purpose is increasingly touted as the key to navigating the complex, volatile, ambiguous world we face today, where strategy is ever-changing and few decisions are obviously right or wrong. Finding your leadership purpose is not easy. If it were, we all know exactly why we're here and be living that purpose every minute of every day. We're constantly bombarded by powerful messages from parents, bosses, advertisers, celebrities about what we should be: smarter, richer, stronger, and how to lead, empower others, lead from behind, be authentic. To figure out who you are in such a world, let alone be nobody but yourself, that's indeed hard work. When I started my career, I didn't really think about purpose. I thought about the outcomes I desired, things like career growth, advancement, success. I also thought about where I wanted to be: larger cities, places like Atlanta, Seattle, and companies I wanted to work for, high-tech, cool brands. But purpose? No, not the company's or mine. I made a lot of moves, job hopping, I guess as folks would say, early in. After finishing graduate school, I landed my first real job. I lasted almost 2 years. Then to the next, stayed a year. The next 6 months. Then 2 years. Then another 6-month stint. Thinking back, I had at-the-ready reasons, or rather excuses, for the hops. The role wasn't challenging enough. I was underappreciated. The culture was toxic. But I now know I moved so much because I was unsettled. I wasn't connected to the companies I worked for, and I wasn't connected to the why of my work, to my purpose. It wasn't until my 30s that I got serious about understanding my why. In July 2007, feeling burned out and frustrated and needing a significant reset, I decided to do something different. A friend of mine had recently moved to Seattle, Washington, loved it, so I figured why not? I applied for a job online, found a house online, and within the month had moved across the country, ready to start my next great adventure. The two best things in my life happened during my time in Seattle. First, I met and married the love of my life, my wife Deborah, and second, she helped me understand my calling. Professionally, I had settled into a role at T-Mobile in human resources, leading compensation and benefits. That just means looking after things like employee pay, health care, time off, savings, stuff like that. I was happy, I was advancing at the company, I was enjoying my work, but then it started up again, the restlessness. I couldn't name the why, but I sure did feel it. So I did what I always did. I started searching for a new job. That was until Deb said, "Kim, enough is enough. You need to figure out what is going on with you." She asked me to take a few days off and just be still and think about the what and why I wanted to do. She challenged me to get real and figure this out so she and I could just settle in. What she was asking, without using these words, was for me to get clear on my purpose so that I could live it. So I did what she asked. I took the next few days off, and I figured I would sit down and try to write my purpose statement. And the crazy thing is, it came really easy. And I'd love to share my personal purpose statement with y'all. It's to make lives in the world to make lives in the world better. Said another way, to change lives and change the world. And so what that means for me, it means to connect authentically with my teammates, friends, family, in a way that makes them feel seen, heard, understood, and in turn unleashes their awesomeness. And it also means practicing my craft to help drive systemic change in pay and benefits that improves individual well-being, that accelerates financial and health equality, and that at scale can be a blueprint for broader social change. Writing down my purpose statement was life-changing for me, as it's been a compass that's guided my decision-making across career, relationships, and in how I prioritize. Grounding in my leadership purpose prepared me for my most recent, in many ways most significant career move. Prior to Walmart, I was at Nike. Things were going great, had a rock star team, was respected, felt like the work was making a difference. Deb and I loved Portland. We had a strong network of friends and family. And then 2020, the global pandemic, geopolitical instability, increasing economic uncertainty, social injustice and unrest, increasing health disparities across our country. In that moment, I knew, Deb and I knew, we needed to take a big, scary leap to leave a city we loved, with people we loved, work we loved, and move 2,000 miles away to a place we never imagined living, Bentonville, Arkansas, so that I could work for the world's largest employer, Walmart. Nike to Walmart might seem crazy, but the move was grounded in purpose. I know, that if I can help solve some of the big, hairy problems that are in front of us today, things like living wage, things like financial stability, health inequality, healthcare accessibility and affordability, if I can help solve those for the 2.2 million associates that we look after, then that has to be a blueprint for change. It's been a year in, and I've never felt so settled and so inspired. I share my story in so much detail because I believe in my bones that finding your purpose and making sure that your purpose aligns with others around you and the work you do, like that's an unlock to peace, inspiration, and engagement with and in your life. And something really awesome about this incredible place here at St. Mary's, your teachers, coaches, counselors, they're equipping you with the skills and tools you'll need to find your purpose. I'll quickly touch on 3 of those skills. First, practicing curiosity. Curiosity helps us become better problem solvers. When we are curious, we are more resourceful, we ask questions such as, what can I do to be better? What are different ways that I can use to solve this problem? As a result, we naturally come up with interesting and innovative ideas. Curiosity can also help us overcome our fears. People who are curious are not afraid of feeling uncomfortable and facing the unknown. They take action. They're more open to getting out of their comfort zones for the sake of learning more about what they're passionate about. And curiosity makes us more self-aware as we think about our purpose and our development. Curiosity entails the questioning of our beliefs, our values, and our perceptions about life. You can ask yourself questions such as, is this belief true, or is it self-imposed? What belief can I replace it with to be more effective and to be a better person? When we are curious, we're more willing to experiment to see what works and what doesn't. We want to find ways to improve our skills and be better versions of ourselves. 2, read books. I was recently asked to share with a group of high-potential future leaders at Walmart the best piece of advice I've ever received. What I shared was a wisdom shared with me here in 11th grade English by Mrs. Gill. She said, read books. Books will allow you to transcend the limitations of your direct experience. They help you tap into centuries of wisdom from the world's greatest thinkers. Books teach you how to live, how to be a good person, how to lead, how to succeed. They can bust paradigms and propel you into existential crisis in a really good way. Read more books, which I know firsthand you're already doing. And 3rd, bring your authentic self. Do that and people will trust you. No one can do you better than you. Authenticity will accelerate you finding your purpose. When your actions align with your true nature, you're more likely to pursue your passions, believe in yourself, and feel confident in your opinions. I'll close with one last comment. I know that this time in your lives probably feels like it's all about grades, your GPA, building extracurriculars, and scoring that high SAT to get into that top-tier college. I remember all of that because I lived it too. And if I could go back to my 18-year-old self, actually probably my 13-year-old self, I would encourage her to take time to discover what brings her joy, what makes her want to push harder, what challenges her to leave her area of the world a better place than she found it. That is what I hope for all of you. And in that journey, you realize your perfect, beautiful purpose. Thank you.